Okay, guys, so let's start. So today the topic we are starting with is asynchronous. So can someone tell me about the asynchronous process and how it works and what it is exactly?
In general way, asynchronous means not continuously updating. Maybe it's
Continuously
like
updating.
scheduled, not uh, not continuously updating. It's like scheduled or time based. In
Mm-hmm.
Apex, I don't know. I no idea. I don't have
Okay,
idea.
okay.
But
So
in
yeah,
general,
that's. Mhm.
continuously updating. It's like time based or batch based, like something.
You mixed a lot of words, but nothing is clear to me.
I
Okay.
think, Smriti, asynchronous means when multiple processes or programs they run in different threads. So
Mhm.
they don't have to wait for the response. They can sometimes be scheduled and like to run at a later time, and they can run in the background without having to wait for uh,
Correct.
the user to finish.
Correct, correct. So in asynchronous one also, our focus today will be on future method. So I hope maybe just a second. Okay. So I made some notes. Maybe that helps. Let's see how it goes. So so basically, if we talk about the daily task, right? So let me just increase the size. Yeah. So if we are talking about synchronous task in day-to-day activities, okay. So for example, I get up, I brush my teeth, eat breakfast, put dirty clothes in laundry, and study Salesforce. So I do one by one. Okay. So we are performing one by one is a synchronous task, correct? The normal day-to-day activities. Now, if I am talking about the asynchronous task, it is a process of making tasks run in the background. This is, for example, put dirty clothes in the laundry. What I can do, I can eat breakfast. I can eat breakfast, and then I can put the clothes, put the dirty clothes in the laundry, and meanwhile I can study Salesforce also. So, like laundry, which we are running, it is doing in the background, right? It is not it's happening simultaneously and not like one by one. So in that way, asynchronous process works in a real time. Munmun, did you got the point which I'm trying to make?
Yes, Niti. Like we don't have to wait for task one to finish, but they all
Mhm.
can work together simultaneously in the
Correct.
background.
Correct. So here I just give example of like okay, here we can make put dirty clothes in laundry as async, and because of that it will be running in the background and other tasks will be working. So this will be in another thread which we will be seeing in a while. So that's how asynchronous process happens. In technical terms, we can say that asynchronous is something which runs in the background without having to wait for that task to finish. So if laundry is happening in the background, we don't have to wait for it while we are studying for Salesforce or while I'm doing some other activity like walking out or something. So like that asynchronous works. So so things that does not need user interaction like button click, giving input can be moved as asynchronous. And here's the example. So synchronous process A, process B. So it is waiting for response. So if we are saying, okay, for example, if I want to eat breakfast, so I have to wait for, like, I want to complete brush my teeth. So it is waiting for first one, brush my teeth, and then going to eat breakfast. So it is synchronous. Process A, then process B. But when I'm taking example of, okay, putting the clothes in laundry and studying Salesforce, that we can do side by side. So we are just not waiting for response. We are just waiting it, going it side by side in another thread. And that is why it becomes async. Till here, anyone is having any doubt? We just discussed like in a brief way, in a real-time example that what async is. Okay. So
It's
moving
clear.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Okay. So moving ahead, why we need asynchronous process? So we can say, okay, we don't need to wait for jobs that does not need my attention immediately, which I just gave an example. And then there will be a higher limit. So there will be 200 SOQL in asynchronous as compared to 100 SOQL. So like that we can do. So now today's topic will be future method. So in asynchronous, that is what we are going to discuss today. So in future method, what happens is it's set of code that runs in the background. So for example, these are some of the tasks which we will take as a method, and one of them, for example, this will be running in the background. So if it is running in the background, we want to make it as future method. So for that, we have to put the future annotation. So we will just see the code also, but see, we will be putting at the rate future. So what will happen? It will run in the future, and whenever the resources are free. And then we have to put static and void. So basically void, because as it runs in the future, so it does not return any value currently. So we will be putting void. And then we are talking about the parameters. So can someone tell me what kind of parameters we can add and what type of parameters we can't?
Like we can add only primitive, and we cannot take like collections in the S objects.
So we can take collections of primitive data types. We can take primitive data types, but why we can't take objects? So one second, Soumya. So primitive is integer Boolean list. That all we can do. On the same note, Soumya, only, like, do you know like why we cannot take objects?
Because it runs in a future, right? And object records anything can get changed in the meanwhile it is running.
Yes, yes. So the
That's
reason
why.
why object cannot be passed as argument to future method is because the object can change between the time, and we call the method and that at time actually executes. So because it can change, so that's why we don't take. So okay, now let's see how it works. Let's go there and check. Just a second. Okay. So we have created a class, and in that, in the like we are executing this one: brush teeth, eat breakfast, clothes and laundry, and study Salesforce. So if you see, the clothes and laundry is a future method. So Munmun, can you tell me, like, once we execute, what should happen ideally?
So I think it'll call like the methods which have been declared one after the other. When it comes to future method, well, it'll be called sometime in future. So it doesn't have to wait for function method 1 or method 2 to finish. It can be called anytime in the future.
Yeah,
It'll
correct.
be,
That is right. And the point is that two threads will be created. One which will be showing brush teeth, eat breakfast, and study Salesforce, and another one with this future method. Like it will show that this debug, clothes in the laundry. That is the first thing which will happen. And secondly, will there be an order of execution? Like which method will be showing first, which will be showing second?
I think brush teeth is first, eat
Mhm.
breakfast is second, and study Salesforce is last.
Okay, so there will be an order of invocation according to you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so just a minute. Order of invocation is not respected. So basically, when you run it, it should there is no order in which it will be showing. So let's try it and we will see what happens.
Okay.
Okay, so we put the class name and then we are just invoking the method. Let's execute it. Just a second. Okay, so see, one will be this one. Where is the debug log? Just a second. Yeah. So see, brush teeth, eat breakfast, and study Salesforce. These are the three here. And the second is in the second thread. That is the future handler. And if I debug only, it is showing clothes in the laundry. So basically, two separate thread for this is being created. Correct? Am I good so far?
Okay, got it.
Okay. So let me go back. Okay. So right now, can someone answer if I put this in future, then what will happen?
It can show only the brush teeth and eat breakfast.
It will show only. Okay.
Another
Yes,
thread will
Smriti,
be
like the order of execution is not defined. So like the top two one will work like the as it worked earlier, and we're not sure like which one will work in these two. This clothes in laundry and study Salesforce first.
Okay. So let's see what will happen. I'm just executing it again. Okay. Okay. See this. Two future handler are there. There was one earlier, you remember, right? See, earlier there was only one. Now there are two. So what will happen? One will be having clothes and laundry, another will be having study Salesforce, and the next one will be having brush teeth and eat breakfast. Let's see if I'm saying correctly. So we will be opening one. One is having clothes and laundry. Clothes and laundry was already there and was having the future annotation, right?
Yeah.
The another one, let's see this. Study Salesforce. It was also having the future annotation. So two separate thread got created. And then this is the one. Here is brush teeth, eat breakfast. So like that, three separate threads are there where there is for each future method, one separate thread is being created. So far, am I clear?
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Now going further, so that is a basic way of just calling the future method. So we just went there. So just a second. Yeah. So how to call a future method? We put the class name and then we put the method. So that's how we are able to call. So now that we are clear. Now I asked another question, that is like, can we write objects as a parameter inside the future method? So Soumya answered something. Can someone also clarify me what will happen if we do that?
Yeah, Smriti, this is Priya here. So if we put S objects in the parameters, what happens is that what we do updates on the objects, right? We do insert or update. So that that doesn't happen in future. So that's why we take just the primitive parameters and we don't include S objects, because there will be continuous updates happening for the objects.
Correct. So it will throw an error. Future method does not support parameter type of account, because we have put account record list and then we are putting it as a parameter. So it is throwing that error. So that's how you can remember. See, this is very important into your question, that what parameters we can pass and what we can't. So maybe by doing it, you can now remember that, okay, it will throw this error. Then just a second. Then one more point to make here is, like, if we are talking about a primitive, so here we can have the list, right? We discussed. So if we are putting the list, it is not passing any error. The error was here in the future demo test when we are passing the account record, but when we are passing a list, then it is not throwing any error. So it works fine with the list of primitives. Next point is regarding the call out. So whenever we are not going to do a call out right now, but whenever we are talking about the call outs, so then we have to put call out equal to true. So that is also one of the interview questions. Now I have a question here. Can we write one future method inside another future method?
I don't think so, Smriti.
No,
No, we can't.
Because, yeah.
So can someone tell me the scenarios where we use the future method?
For mixed DML operations?
Yeah, correct. So basically, obviously that's not a scenario, that's a case whenever we want to run code in the background for any purpose, that time we can use this one. Like that can be one scenario. For example, we want to count number of contacts we did right last time. We can do that also using the future method. If we don't want like the process to execute that time itself, and we can wait and we want to run in the background, or if we want more time is okay, for that time we can use this. Another which Soumya just put is like the DML, mixed DML. For that we use the future method. So we will discuss scenario 2 maybe in more detail, but for now you can see you must have faced DML exception. The exception occurs when we insert setup and non-setup objects in one transaction. So setup objects are like user, group, profile, layout, email template, and non-setup are all the standard and custom objects. So in same context, we cannot insert user and account in the same object. So for that, future method helps. So we will take a scenario also if possible, but this one comes in the interview questions that, okay, in like how we handle the mixed DML exception. That time you can say that we can handle it using the future method. And third is, we just saw that we cannot perform call out from triggers, so we use future method, and for that we have to do call out equal to true. So theoretically that is the point. And the limitation of future method, so you cannot call one future method from another method, that we got clarity. Then can have only primitive as parameters, that we got clarity. Then order of invocation is not respected, and cannot invoke one future method from another future method. So these are the actually pointers which are there in the future method. So now we can just take an example and try. So you would have got a brief, right, like how future method works?
Yes, Smriti.
Yeah. So let's try one question and just see like how we are going. Just give me a minute. So the same question which we did in the roll-up summary, we are doing here also. We have to count the number of contacts on account. So that only you have to do, but this time you have to use the future method. So there will be a field, to be clear, there will be a field, maybe number of contacts on account, and there we have to count the count the number of contacts. For example, if there are 3 contacts related to that account, so we have to show that in the number of contacts. But the way we tried to do it with the trigger, this time you have to do it with the future method and write that code. Is the question clear to everyone?
Yes, Smriti.
So once everyone is done, then just say done, and if like 13 people are there, if most are done, then we can continue, and then we can share the screen, and then all can see that how we are doing. Actually, guys, one more thing. If you see the trailhead, actually I was trying to open that. So it is having the same kind of question. So just try creating that. So we will be able to complete one trail also with this. I send a link. The question is same actually.
Let me know once you guys are able to see my screen, okay?
Yeah, I can see.
You can see.
Yes, can see.
Yeah. So, yeah, sorry that I have written the test class half. Okay. So this is actually initially the code that I sent in the group, I just wrote it in my notepad, but then I realized that seeing the trailhead link that we have to give the class name like this. So I updated it here as per the trailhead. Let me open the trailhead also. Okay. So yeah, so I have created Smriti, shall I explain or?
Yeah, go ahead, and people will have doubts, so they can ask also.
Yeah. Okay, so I created this class. I created this class account processor. Okay, so this was the syntax that I used. So here, public static void. So I have read it earlier that like static is the basic requirement for the syntax for future methods. Okay, so this is the method that I created, and herein I pass this set parameters, set ID parameters to store the account IDs. Okay. So now I wrote this SOQL query wherein I'm creating a list wherein I'm collecting all the all the accounts related to this set ID. Sorry, this is actually for contact, and I'm collecting all the IDs for the related contact. Okay, so I'm putting a for loop here wherein I'm running one by one all the account, and I have initialized this contact object, con object, wherein, wait, just bear with me, please. Okay, so list contact, I have created. I'm very nervous explaining. Please don't mind. Forgive me for this.
That's okay. That's
okay. So I'll just quickly start from the beginning. So here I'm creating this set ID to take the contacts. Okay. And next I am pulling a query because I need to add the number of contacts created for the account, the related contacts. So I need to first store the account IDs for which I want to count the contacts. So for this, I wrote this query, and then I'm running this account. So this is the list account. This is the account variable that I created for taking the IDs of the accounts. And for every account, I have instantiated, created this list for contact. And then I'm calculating the size of the contact and putting it into the field that I created, the custom number type field that I created in account object. And finally, I'm updating my list in the query with this account details, with the size, update list account. I was very messy in explaining. I'm really sorry.
Priya, if you don't mind, can I ask you one question?
Yes.
So in this method, like set of IDs, so which IDs are there, account or contacts?
Okay. So here in the set ID, I'm taking the, one second. select ID, number of contacts, ID from account, set ID in set ID.
Account IDs.
Yeah, contacts. Yeah.
No, it is account because you are matching in with the account ID, not the contact ID, right?
1 second. 1 second. Public static void account contact. Set ID. Set ID. Yes, yes, this is account. So for account, I need to get the contacts, related contacts. So I am taking the account ID so that I can get the related contacts from there. Sorry, yeah, account ID. Yes, Soumya.
Yes, fine. But shall I ask you one more question?
Yes, yes, please.
So,
Please ask.
okay. So you are updating the account ACC, right?
Yeah, actually,
So,
I'm storing the one by one account that is coming. I'm storing it in ACC. Yeah.
okay. So that updated account where it is getting stored, like if you are iterating for list of accounts, fine.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
then you are updating accounts dot number of contact, right?
Yes.
In on line number 11. Okay.
Yes.
So where this updated account is the where you have stored that updated account, because you are written update list account, right? So list
Yes.
account are the accounts which have already fetched.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I got your point. I got your point.
So you know
Okay.
what you should
So
do? You should create a new empty list and you should add each account in that empty list and you should then update that list. You got my point?
yes. 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 Okay. Okay. So the empty list that I should be creating it outside for loop, right?
Yeah, right, right. You can create even above the method as well. That's also fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Dot will not be.
New list of account. New list of account.
Sorry. Okay. So
Check the spelling of list for both of them.
I think
it was regarding the caps lock you were telling, right, Smriti?
Yeah,
The case you were telling.
Huh.
Okay. So now,
you should on line number 14, you should
yeah.
write a.acc.
Okay.
Line number 40. No, just enter. No, just remove this. Enter
Okay.
a dot add acc, and then you should update a.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So this declaration is this parameter is fine, right?
Right. Variable does not exist. A.
ID for account ACC list of contacts.
Maybe,
It should be, the list should be defined inside the function.
inside, yeah.
Future method, right.
Put line number 3 inside the
On
file.
line number 6, you can put.
Okay.
Now save it once.
So it should be saving. There is no error coming, right?
There is.
That is for test. Process
Okay, account process test. Yeah.
But it is still showing maybe a star to me. Maybe I'm seeing the screen late or something. The star is coming for me.
Yeah, it's fine. It is saving, I think. Now it's saved.
Not saved.
Yeah, it is saved now. Okay.
Okay. So Jay, you are having doubts, right? Jay Munmun.
No, I'm fine. I'm good.
And Jay?
I think, I'm sorry. Do you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. So actually, I have a doubt in the last one, the account number of contact, the account size. So could you explain that line again? Line number 14.
Yeah. Okay, so here what we are doing is that from the query for related account, I have taken out all the contacts. Okay.
Yes.
Then here in line number 10, I am storing the accounts.
Okay.
So now again from account, I'm getting those contacts and putting up in this list column, the list that is created. Okay.
Okay.
So for example, there are three contacts like Priya, Soumya, Gyan. There are 3 contacts. So to get the size of those contacts related to that account, we need to put it to the field number type field that we have created. So this account dot number of contacts, I will put that particular account's size into this field. So here is the account. For example, I have created an account TCS. So TCS has 3 contacts in it. So that particular TCS number of contacts field should be updated with the 3 contacts size. 3 is the size of the contacts that is added to TCS account. So that should be updated to this field.
Okay. So what? I'm sorry. I think this is a basic question, but could you please explain why we have to relate it to the size?
Because we need to get the count, right? How will we get the count of the contacts that is being added to the account? This is the method that we use to get the counts, isn't it?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, got it.
I have a question. So account ACC dot contact, these contacts will store the ID of the related contacts, right?
Sorry, where are you?
Line number 12. Line number 12 after equal to line number 12. It will this dot contact. This contact is holding the IDs of those contacts, right? Right. Not the whole contact record. It is only holding the ID of the contact, right? Because here we are retrieving only ID from contact.
Yes.
It is not holding all the record. It is only holding the ID of contacts.
I don't think it is storing the ID of the contact.
No, Priya, she's correct. Because you are fetching in the inner query, you are just fetching the ID from the contact. So it will store only the ID.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So for those contacts, it is getting the size. It is updating the size for each account in this list, in the above 7th line list, and then we are updating at a time a list. Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. So now can we check the test class? Someone else can share.
Yes, Smriti, I can share.
Yeah,
It
go
has
ahead.
error, but let's see what's happening. Can you all see my screen?
Yeah.
I was just referring to the test class which is in the Glead link that you shared. So, so for us, the scenario is like we have a contact and we want to see, like I created a field in the account or the parent object, which will calculate the number of child contact objects it has. So on account, I have two contacts, right? So so my code should update the value of that field to 2. So what I need to do in test class, I need to as per the annotation, I need to declare is @ is test in on top of the test class. So that will signify that this is a test class, not any regular class. So inside that I'll have a, like Smriti said, public static, and I am having a void, like void return type. So inside that I have to set some test values. Okay, so I need to create a
Just stopping here. Should it be public static test method and then void because it's a test method?
public static.
Or you can write @is test about the method as well. You need to write that.
Right.
The same annotation.
Like this?
Right, that's correct.
Like how it is mentioned here, like is test or is test, like in the class level and also in the method level. Is that right, Smriti?
Yes.
Okay. So now this method is also test method, which is defined inside my test class. So what am I doing inside this test method? I'm trying to create some test data. So what all data will I need? Test data will I need to create? I'll need a parent and I'll also need a child or maybe multiple child. So I'm how can I create a parent? Like parent is my account. So when I say account, in the backend, account is also a class. So I'll say class name and object name equals to new account. And then what is the mandatory field, required field in account? Name is the only mandatory field I have in account. So when I am creating account record, I must set this value. So I'm setting a.name is equal to parent account 1. And then I'm doing inserting. And then now I have created the test value for the parent. Now what I need to do is create the child. Some sample value I need to create for the child. So my child is contact. So I'm doing contact, C is equal to new contact, which is the syntax. And then now which are the mandatory fields in contact object? First name and last name. So I'm initializing first name to something and last name to something. But I also have to create the relationship between the child and the parent. So what is the relationship? That account ID of contact is equal to the ID that is coming from this account. So here I'm creating the relationship. Now these two are related and I'm inserting this child record. Okay, so we created one sample parent and one sample record for child. Now I'll zoom it. Now just forget about this. Yeah, as per the trailhead, we need to call something called test.start test and test.stop test, and inside that we need to call the class.
So I'm just stopping you here.
Yeah.
Guys, test.start and test.stop is very important in terms of interview questions. How we test future method or how we test batch. So in that we use that, okay, we have to put it inside the test.start and test.stop. We create right now she has just created all the data, but testing will be inside test start and test stop. So Munmun, can you explain why we are putting it inside it? What happens?
I think I actually don't know. I was just following the syntax and I assume that inside this, it indicates that the test, like we are now going to call the test class and the test will now begin where it will check based on whatever values we have set.
So anyone can explain that why we are writing?
I can explain. So we have this corner limit slide, right? So whatever transactions we are doing inside the test.start test and test.stop test, they have separate governor limits. Separate in the sense they will not be counted in this transaction. Like for example, this class in the above statement you are using insert.c. Can you scroll up? See, you are inserting insert A and insert C. So two DML operations are happening. So out of 150, now the count has become 148, right? So again, inside the test.start test, if you do any updations or any DML operation or any SOQL, that will not be counted as part of this transaction. That will be a fresh governor limit. I mean, there will be another set of 150 again for DML, 100 for SOQL. That the transactions which are executed inside the test.start test and test.stop test will not be counted.
Okay, got it. So like it will be handled in a separate thread, and a new set of governor limits will be assigned for this operation.
So this question is very important for all of you. That's why I'm highlighting that this comes. So for future method, for batch, you write it inside test start and test stop. Go ahead.
Can I use one more time in the test method, the same methods? Because it is resetting the governor limits, and I'm calling a method, a class and a method.
I think we'll be able to call.
Can?
Yeah, but like we can call multiple future methods, but we cannot call one future method inside another future method, right? So it will reset the governor limits for this method, like this operation. I think it is possible.
I did not understand Jan's question.
So what I mean to say is, can we use test.start test and test.stop test again in a test class?
I think, yeah, it is possible.
Can anyone else? Yeah. Can anyone else want to answer? Soumya, Priya?
It's a guess. I think yes, but I am not sure.
We cannot use in the same method, test method. We can use only once in one test method in a test class.
Okay, so in a class, if you have two methods, then one in each we can use.
Not in a class, in a test class. So if you scroll to the top.
I'm just deleting this for now. Okay, here.
Yeah. So here we are now into a test future method test. That's the method, right? We are into a method. Yes. So within this method, we can use test.start test and test.stop test only once. So basically we can use in a method, in a test class only once, test.start test and test.stop test to reset the governor limits.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so if a class has two methods, then
you mean a test class, right?
Yeah, a test class.
Okay, so you can use one, yeah, you can use two times, once in each method.
That's what I know. Yeah, got it.
Yes.
So like this we can do. Right, Gyan?
Exactly, yes. So now you can see Munmun has another method in the same class though. So here she can use again test.start test and test.stop test. But within the same method, we cannot use two times.
Like this is not possible. But two test methods separate, declared one after the other is possible.
Right.
Clear, everyone? Are we clear on this?
Yes, Munmun. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Gyan. So yeah, so and also thank you, Ati, for explaining what does this mean. So now we understand that we are actually starting a separate thread where we are trying to handle this operation. So when we are trying to handle this operation, I'm just going back to this method. So in this method, we have this I'm sorry, in this class, we have this method where we have to pass what? The account ID, the unique account ID. So now I go back here, I declare set ID, account ID, and I have to assign it with the test data ID, like the test account record that I created. When I create a record, the ID is generated, right? So I'm trying to pass that account ID, that's a unique ID, into this. So now this will have my newly created account ID. After that, I'm just trying to do the same operation that we have done in the class. So what we are doing in this method, we are using that account ID, which we are passing here, right? So that account ID we are using here in this SQL statement to fetch what? Zoom it. To fetch some data. In this case, I am fetching ID, name, number of contact fields, which I have newly created, right? And like all this related data. Okay, so the similar SQL query I'm running here, and all this data is coming and getting stored inside this list. Because whatever SQL query I'm executing, it will always return list. So I'm trying to store it inside account list. Okay, and then what we do in a test class is we try to execute the system.assert equals and try to check the value. Like we check the value, and if that returns, if that's a match, then it will return true. So so here is my error. Like I'm running system.assert equals. I'm trying to see, I created one parent and one child for that parent, right? So this should have return 1 for me because there is only one child. Yeah, right, one child, and I should try to match it with this field value, right? So if this, what will this return? This will return 1 because I just created one child for this parent, right? So if this is a match, then system.assert equals, okay.
So one is not a string, right?
Yeah, I sent you that. Just put it from the chat once.
Okay, let me open the chat.
In the chat.
Okay. Chat.
Zoom chat. Oh, that's okay.
So you can remove the quote, single quotes in the 27th line for one, and you don't have to give what is that, IA or LA. Directly you can just compare the field.
I'm trying to fetch this field value from which I have.
Here you are just comparing the value. You are not fetching, right? You can use directly the value, I guess, the field value.
Like this.
So here, Munmun, can you open the chat, or I will quickly put that.
I'm trying to open.
It should be value of ACC number of contacts, I think.
Okay, so like I have to convert that into integer dot value of. Okay.
Yeah, put value of, and then put is the LA dot number of contacts.
Okay, so as per this, I have to do this.
And instead of ACC, put LA. Number of contacts, comma 1.
Is that okay?
Just uncomment that and put that there. That will be easier, right?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, and put there LA. That would be easier.
Yeah.
And just try once.
And
valuable result exists, number of contacts. First of all, the field name is correct or not?
Field name I just copied from here. So it's the same that I created. LA is my list, and 1 should be the value as per the test data created. Okay, this is something. Delete. Okay, now that error is gone, but I don't understand why this error is showing number of contacts. I created this.
Just go, okay, one second. The number of contacts, number of LA dot number of contacts. Just I know LA should be there, but just try to remove LA once.
Okay.
Yeah, same error.
Yeah.
Soumya? LA should be there, right? But it is not.
Right. Without LA, like we cannot fetch the field,
Yeah,
right?
correct. But actually, error was not going on. So
I'm thinking, just give me a few minutes.
can you actually? It should be correct. Can you just reopen it?
Close and reopen this class.
Just copy Control A so that you don't lose it. Copy it and then reopen it.
Okay.
Because I think it should be correct.
Save it. Okay.
It's not getting saved, I guess.
Saved now.
Just close it and reopen.
Okay. Yeah, it's not getting saved.
Save it once.
Saving.
Same error.
Yeah.
Okay.
Variable does not exist. Select.
Okay. Space is there. No.
What we can do, Munmun, just comment your system.asserts and just print this LA list once.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm printing it here.
So are we getting something here?
Okay. Okay, so I commented and I'm trying to print. But how do I? Okay, I'll do just run test, right?
Right.
Okay. Now progress
in the logs
Test.
only.
logs. Okay.
Yeah, test.
Test.
Debug only, just click on debug.
Yeah. So it contains number of contacts is 1. It is getting.
Yeah,
right?
it is there, right.
Actually, the same code I have written and it is working properly.
Munmun, can you please go back to your test class?
Yeah.
LA dot number of
What is that assert equals after the system?
Okay, it will just validate that whatever value we are trying to, like parameter 1, value of parameter 1 is equal to value of parameter 2. So they should be same. Like if they are same, then it will return true. Something like that. Is that right, Smriti?
Okay.
Yeah. Can I share a screen, Munmun, for a minute?
Sure, I'm stopping.
Yeah. Thank you. So why I'm like there should be no problem actually, because see, I've done the same thing. Assert equals ACC number of contacts, 1 number of contacts, and it is working absolutely
Actually,
fine.
I got it.
It is declared at list, right?
Yeah, you have taken
line.
a list. It should be a single record.
Right.
Okay. Can I
From
share?
the list, you cannot fetch the value directly, right?
Yes. You have to
Share your
iterate and
screen
give me.
once again, Munmun.
Sure, Samya. Okay.
Just remove list and just simple account.
I was thinking that when we are running this SQL or any SQL query, it always returns this list. So I was fetching it in a list. Is that not right?
Because you are passing one particular ID, right? That is a record ID. So it will return always single record, no?
Okay, okay. Yeah,
It
right.
will not give you list of records.
Yeah, right. It'll, yeah, this is one more important point that inside the test class, whatever test data we are creating, and we are trying to run a SQL. So whatever data we have created here, only that data will be returned here. Even though in my database there are
Correct. I didn't even in mine I put not put list, but I didn't spare it. Saw it. Yeah, correct.
Soumya, I'm not clear with why we are not using list here. Can you just
I will tell you. Wait, Priya. Duplicate variable. I think.
Just a second. I'm not hearing you. Just
In the line 26, yeah. Just
yeah.
ACC.
okay. Then, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. Thank you, Soumya.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. No worries. So Priya, your answer is that from account we are fetching that particular record, right? Because she is mapping with the account ID, and for one record ID there will be only one record, right?
Yeah.
And from the list, if you want to fetch the particular field, then you have to iterate for the list. Like
Yes, correct. For loop use
whatever can be get by some particular record, not from the whole list.
Yeah, got it. Because if we are using list, then again we need to put a for loop inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Awesome. So, how much time we have left? Because of this difference, I have no clue.
It's 9:06 a.m. right now.
So, Soumya, do we have like 10-15 minutes to discuss the DML, or we should discuss tomorrow, depending on.
I can.
Cool. So please share your screen. So guys, this is very important question in interview, and generally people don't try to make it work, and then they get confused on this. So please try to understand carefully.
Okay, so this is the one simple class I have written, and what I'm doing is
first of all, just give a brief what you are trying to do, mixed DML.
Okay, yeah. So see, what I'm trying to do, I'm performing the in a one single class, I'm inserting the record in setup and non-setup both kind of objects, right? So I think everyone is know what is setup objects. Setup objects are like user permissions, profiles, layout. These all are the setup objects, and non-setup objects are like standard and the custom objects. So in my class, what I'm doing, I'm inserting the setup and non-setup object records at the same time. Okay. So like everyone can see here, first I'm inserting one account record, and then in the same method, I'm creating one user record. Okay. So everyone is clear till now?
Yes.
Yes. So now when I will run this class, like what I initialize this class in calling this method, the moment I execute it, it will give me an error, mixed DML operations. Okay. So DML operations on setup object is not updated after you have updated in non-setup object, and vice versa. If I've created the user first and then I'm creating the account, then also I will get the same error. Okay, so the main thing is that within the same method, we cannot insert setup and non-setup objects. So for this, like I have not written the future method. So for this, what we need to write? We need to write the two methods. First, for non-setup objects will be normal method, and the setup object will be in future method. So this way we can run this.
Got it.
Got it? Any doubts? Any questions? Or do you want me to explain the code as well, what I have did exactly?
Will it give error on updates as well, or just on insert?
No DML operations.
The code. Can you show me some sample of it, Soumya, for update?
Like what sample? Like if I do here update?
Yeah. Either of the record or any one or both.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Yeah, for account also you're updating, and for user also you're updating here, right? sorry,
In
inserting.
searching here, yeah.
Yeah. So I would like to see what is the result if it is an upsert update DML.
So like if you are updating, like no DML, no DML operations can be performed together for the setup and non-setup. If you are doing here update, then also it will give error, but we cannot update it directly, right? I have to modify my code first. First I need to insert, then I need to particular update that record, right?
Yeah. So
Because
can you do it if you have time? Sorry.
like it will
Sorry.
take time. I can do it for sure. What I can do, like, then I can do acc dot acc dot. I'm not sure. Like, let me try. Yes, Soumya. You're saying something like this.
Yeah, correct.
And similarly, you want me to update this user record as well, right?
Yeah, that's Soumya. You got it right.
No worries. User record dot, let me see. This is how you guys are saying.
But you will be doing both operation to insert and to update, right?
Yeah. But I think like this is not the good, because if we have to update, what first I need to do, I should query the records from the account, then I should do the updations, right?
True. Yeah.
Got my point?
Yeah, I understood. That is what I'm.
Yeah. So like this will never be happen. Like if we are inserting at the same time and then we are going to update it. For updation, what we will do, we will fetch the from account and then we will update it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Okay.
Like I
I
need
got
to
it.
modify a little more, right? So you just remember one thing: no DML operation can be mixed together for the like mixed DML like setup and non-setup objects. So that is what came in picture. You got my point?
Yeah, Soumya, I got it.
So that's it. So I think we can divide it into the two methods, and one method can annotate with the future method. That is how it is going to be work. Hello.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Soumya, got it.
Aarti, Munmun, do you have any question here?
We are clear on that. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
I'm clear on that. Thank you.
Cool. I think so. We are good on this, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Swami, do you want to say any other point on this?
No. For like we can take it as an assignment. Like we can create two methods and do this as a homework, like to solve the error of the mixed HTML. No.
What can you come again, Soumya? What did you say?
I was saying like now we have an idea, so we can do it as an assignment today, and we can come over the call tomorrow with the solutions, like how we can solve the problem for the mixed HTML. What do you say, Smriti?
Yeah, we can do that. So guys,
if anyone have any question?
Soumya, can you repeat the question exactly? What is the homework?
Right now, I have not created the solution for it, right? I have just created the code and showing what kind of error we are getting. So I was saying the homework for that is we can create the solution for it.
Yes, we can do that.
Like how to solve the error for the mixed GMLs, how to write a method, and how to like do in the class.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Is it good for everyone?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, Soumya, in case you want to drop off, you can. I'll just ask like one or couple of interview questions and then we are good.
I will not answer, but I want to be in the
Yeah,
call.
you can be. I mean, I just want to let you know.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sharing. I should stop. Okay, just give me a second, guys. Yeah, so some of the questions which we have already discussed today, we are just going with it. So what kind of parameters are supported in future methods?
Primitive ones.
List.
So one second. What kind of is not supported, Vishwanath?
Objects.
Objects.
Okay, yeah, correct. So basically primitive data types and collection of primitive data types are supported and objects are not supported. And why objects are not supported?
Because we keep changing the records, updating.
Correct.
Because the future method rules in future, so like there is a possibility that the record can change at that point of time. So like the value will get.
Okay, yeah, correct. And what is the workaround for the subject types as we cannot pass it as a parameter? So we learned that we cannot pass a subject as a parameter. So what we can do if we cannot pass it? Soumya?
Can you come again on the question?
What could the workaround be for a subject types because we cannot pass the subjects?
You have to go for the batch class.
No.
I think constructors.
So
effects.
So basically we can pass the subject ID instead and use the ID to perform a query in most of the up-to-date records.
Also, Smriti, I have a question. So because you said that asynchronous because it executes in future, we don't know when an account is changed, data in the account or any other object is changed. So that's the reason we cannot pass as objects in future method. But in queuable effects, we can pass, right? Queuable effects also executes in future. So how is that possible?
So that I will tell you tomorrow. I'm not sure. I have to check once.
Okay. So
because shall I answer for this?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Because in the future, like in the future method, there is no job ID, so you cannot like fetch anything what is happening on particular like transactions. In queuable and schedule, you have a job ID, right? So with the job ID, you can see if it is a changing. Then on using that async apex class, you can pass the object. That is why we can pass the object data type in the queuable and schedule.
Oh, okay.
Because in future you cannot maintain the state. What I mean, like in future you cannot, you don't have any class or anything where you can maintain or check the state what is happening.
Okay. So what Smriti says, I just wanted to repeat that. So because we cannot pass as objects in future, we just pass the ID. ID is a primitive data type, so we can pass the object ID and then we can use the object records. Is that right, Smriti?
So see, to work with S objects, pass the S object ID instead and use the ID to perform the query.
Okay.
So they are passing the list of IDs.
Got it. Okay.
And how can I perform callouts for from future method?
We have to set it to true.
What we have to set it to true?
I guess we have to write call out equal to true after at future annotation.
Correct. We have to set for true. Okay, got it.
This was my interview question. I couldn't answer.
Oh, now you can remember, right?
Of course I can. I did not answer, right? I will remember for my lifetime.
Wow, that's good. How can I call a feature method? That must be easy for you all.
At future annotation, right?
Call.
Class dot method name.
Yeah. You
Same
can
as normal method.
method name, correct. Okay. And can I write a future call in a trigger? Sorry, I missed it. Can I write the above statement in a batch job? This statement, I guess they are talking.
No.
Schedule, right?
As,
Like future is
as you said, like in the beginning, we cannot do chaining in future method. Like we cannot call future method from another like async class.
Yeah, correct. So we cannot call using the batch. Then can I write a future call in a trigger?
Oh, I want to clarify one
No,
thing.
we cannot. We have to write it in a separate class and we then call that class from trigger because trigger is synchronous.
Yes, you can. So the call out we cannot do through the trigger. So that is an interview question that you call the future method from the trigger, and the future method you write a call out.
Yeah, future, yeah.
So yeah, we can write it. Remember that kind of scenario. Aarti, I'm correct, right? That kind of scenario comes that there is a question which says that you cannot, can you call out from trigger? So we say no, we cannot call a trigger call out from
Yeah,
trigger.
exactly. Yes. We have to call a future method, and in that future method declare as call out equal to true, and then write the code for call out in that.
So that's why
that,
it is, yes, we can.
Future.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. And one thing, last but one question. So because we cannot call a future from a future.
Cannot chain. Okay.
Yeah, cannot change. So what was the previous question? That was confusing. You went fast. We cannot call a future method from chaining. We cannot do, right? So from batch apex or queuable or any other future, we cannot call a future method. I did not understand that. I'm sorry.
Yes, in a batch job, it is not possible to call a future method.
In a batch, from a queuable, can you call future?
I think I'm not sure about that, but I don't
From
know.
batch, you cannot call. Okay.
Question? Yeah. What's the question?
From
can
queuable, can we call future?
From batch?
No, from batch we cannot. From queuable, she's
from
asking.
batch we cannot.
No, she's asking from queuable.
No, because there won't be any ID, right? Sorry, I forgot about it.
Okay, got it.
So let's see this scenario. Even I have not read it. So Gyan, can you read it and go ahead?
Consider a case. I have written a future call in the accounts trigger update operation. I have a batch job running on account records and does DML on them. Will the future call will be invoked after DML? So there is a trigger which is and the operation DML operation on trigger is update. That's on the account object. So there is one batch job which is running on the same account object which does DML on them. It might be insert, update, all the DML. So will the future call be invoked after DML? So with the batch, with the batch job, what's happening? There are some DML insertions happening on the account record, and then on the account we have a trigger. I think it doesn't. It will not run. Will the future call be invoked after DML? I don't think so, because just now we have seen we cannot call future from the batch, right? So batch will trigger. Since you are in the batch, what is the trigger?
Future method cannot be called from the future or batch method, as the future method cannot be invoked from future or batch method execution context.
Right.
Okay, got it.
How can we avoid the exception condition without using try catch? So this is, we can update the trigger logic to leverage the system is future and system is batch calls, so that the future method invocation is not made in if the current execution context is future or batch. So let's see. they have written system.isFuture and system is batch, and then they are putting the future call. So to avoid the exception condition and without using try and catch, we can use system is future and system is batch.
So it checks if there is any future method or batch method running on account object. Only if it is not there, only the statements on below will get executed. Is that correct?
So yeah, basically the exception they are handling here.
Oh.
So in any case, I cannot call a future method from a batch job. In any case. So in any case, I cannot call future method from a batch job. Let's see. Calling a future method is not allowed in the execute method, but as web services can be called, a web service can also call a future method. So if we can define a web service having a future method invocation and call the web service from the execution method of batch job. So Munmun, do you want to explain this?
I'm just trying to read it. Calling a future method is not allowed in the execute method, but a web service can be called. So for calling a web service, we have to call like future @ future method call out equals to true. We have to set. Web service can also call a future method. Sorry, Smriti, I'm a little confused here.
Aarti?
So from the execute method, we cannot call a future, but but we can call a web service from the execute method. Correct? A web service can also call. So from execute method, we cannot call future directly. So from execute method, we can invoke a web service, and from a web service, we can call at future method.
Sorry, come again.
What it is saying is calling a future method is not allowed in the execute method, but calling a web service is allowed. So execute method will call a web service, and web service can call a future method.
Right, correct. That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are making a call out, web service call out here from an execute method in a batch class. That call out method will again call the future method.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
How many future methods can be defined in a class? We tried for 2 anyways, you remember?
I think no restrictions as such.
Any number, yeah, there is no restriction. So they are showing that, see, we can have, so yeah, they have done the call out equal to true, and then they are performing the call out, and then they have put, okay, both are future. So they are just showing that we can put as many as we want. How many future calls will the above code invoke? Jay?
So, I don't know, Sri.
Check, right? How many are getting invoked? Yeah?
It will be throwing error.
Why?
The scroll above to the code. Okay, in the first call out future method, you are calling the other. As we studied that, we cannot change the future methods from one to the other. So we are invoking the second future method in the first future method. So that is not possible with the future methods.
So guys, this is very good example. Yeah, correct. So this is very good example of remembering that we cannot call one future method from another future method. Otherwise, it will throw another. So the code is invalid as a future method cannot be invoked another future method. So I think this will help us to remember this. If I want to call a future method from a future method, what could be the solution? We have realized that we cannot call. Now they are asking what could be the solution.
So future method, you can do a call out, and again in the call out, you can call a future method, I guess.
Yes, I
Correct.
think.
Yep, that's
Correct.
the answer.
Good. So what are other use cases of using a feature method? Okay, let's see. What are the use cases you remember? Like, wait. Anyone else wants to answer? I think Aarti and Munmun can also answer. Reena, Jay, Vinay, Vishwanath. Like, can you tell what are the other use cases of feature method? Okay, Aarti, go ahead.
So if you want to execute asynchronously, use feature, what are the use cases?
What are the scenarios? What are
scenarios?
You have to tell the use cases. Fast.
Okay, so in future, if you want to give a separate governor limits for
scenarios.
Like mixed email.
Oh no.
Yeah, mixed email.
Oh
and
yeah.
Correct, right? We did that.
Yeah.
And next.
Call outs.
Correct. Call out. How could you forget? You said that you didn't do in the interview, and you will remember for life. You're lying. What
So
is
basically,
you
most of the
address the
times.
question in a different way. You ask the
So
question.
I would like to tell one thing here. Can you go to the above question for the cases? So basically, when we are writing like test classes, we come across the DML, mixed DML exceptions, because we'll be using the setup objects sometimes in the test classes, like user, as Soumya has shown us today. So that's when we go for feature method, like especially most of the time while writing the test classes.
Yeah, correct. So you have already answered what is mixed DML when we are adding the setup and non-setup together. So we are just moving ahead. So in single transaction, if we are putting non-setup and setup, that time we are having that problem, and we can solve it using the feature method. How feature method helps in avoiding mixed DML error? That is a homework which you need to do. So you can just see that. So you have to isolate the transactions, and you have to check this out. So I'm just skipping it. Once I call a feature method, how can I trace its execution?
It's not okay. If anyone wants to answer.
It was there in the Treelet link you shared.
Tell the answer. Like,
not possible, no? There's no ID Apex, async Apex code. There's no ID, so you cannot track.
Apex jobs, so we can check in the Apex job if it has run or not. But if in the queue, the resources are not available, like you are saying, it won't show up. So basically, if it is in the queue, it won't show up, but otherwise it will be showing in the Apex jobs.
Okay, so we have to go to setup Apex job and then check there.
Correct. Salesforce use a queue-based framework to handle asynchronous process from such source as feature method and batch. So we can check it in the Apex jobs. But while it is in the queue, but if it is in the queue, then they are saying that it won't show up. So we can check like that. How to test a feature method? Fast.
Munmun.
We did that. Munmun.
Yeah. In a test class, so we have to declare the class as.
No, you don't have to do all
Test.
that. Okay, just a pointer.
Declaring some test data in the test class, and then.
You missed the point.
No, where did you call the class name dot method name, the future method name? What did you, like, within what statements you wrote that?
Oh, okay. That test begin test and
test
execute
dot,
anonymous block.
Test no. Test dot start test.
Yeah, start test and test
stop test.
Oh, okay.
So all of you, this is very important question, so don't miss it. And we have spent time also on this. So if you answer it wrong, then I will block you. Okay. What are some of the limitations of feature method? Who can answer quickly?
I can answer quickly. So first thing, we cannot call a feature from another. There is no chaining is not possible, and we cannot pass the non-primitive data types. And then there is no way that we can get an ID. ID to ID. And that's it.
Order of execution. We don't know.
Execution.
Correct.
Order of execution.
Primitive data type, feature job, tracing of feature job, cannot call from batch in future, which we discussed. And for processing large number of records, it's not good. So what is the good option?
Batch.
Batch epics.
Correct. Very good. We are done with feature. So guys, just wanted to just check how to avoid DML exception, which Soumya discussed today. We can check that. And apart from that, I think future method is done. Is there anything else which you want to discuss on that tomorrow?
I have one question. Can I make directly a call out from triggers?
No.
Why we cannot make call out from triggers?
That I don't know.
Trigger is synchronous.
So guys, this is important as well. So we know that trigger will run on insertion of the records or updates or delete, right? And at that instance, it should perform the operation it has, the trigger, which is synchronous. It won't wait for anything, right? The trigger will work on insertion or on update or not delete. Is it waiting for anything, or is it just updating as soon as we insert or update or delete? It is doing at that time itself. So like synchronous, it is not waiting for any resource. Are we guys clear on this part? Till
Yes.
here?
Yes.
Okay. So when we are making a call out means nothing but we are trying to make a call to another application to get the data or to send the data. So we don't know how much time it will take, when the server will be available for the other application. So we have to wait. So this is not possible in the trigger, right? It will throw an error because it expects the data, the return data, as soon as we run the trigger. So in trigger, call out is not possible. Even in this case, what we do, we write a separate class where we do a call out. That is add future, we use add future method and we do a call out. And that class is called from the trigger. Are you guys okay with this?
Can you repeat the last statement, Kian?
Sure. So from trigger, if you want to get the data from third-party application in the Salesforce, it is not possible to do it in the trigger because trigger will expect the data as soon as you run the trigger. It will not wait. It will throw you error if it is waiting for the server. So you write that call out in some class in the future method and you do a call out, but that class you will trigger it from writing a trigger. This, if possible, we'll explain it in the coming sessions.
Okay, Gyan.
The example.
So guys, you have understood the complete future methods, and we have gone through the entire questions also. The part which is left, which you have to do and share screen. So Vinay or Jay, I'm giving the task to you that you will show tomorrow properly that how we can avoid the mixed YAML. So either of you have to share the screen. Okay, so just work on that. So
Okay.
how we can avoid. Okay, take it as a challenge.
Okay,
And
got
apart from that, everything we have completed in future, so we can move ahead. Call out we are not doing because once we are doing call out, that time we can discuss it. Otherwise, it might get confusing. So, but otherwise, future is done. So if there is anything else, then you can let us know and we can discuss that. Otherwise, we will discuss batch tomorrow. Okay, guys. Is there anything?
Open execute anomalous window. It just
Right now?
System.
Sorry.
Who's that? I think someone was talking.
That's fine. That's fine. So yeah, guys. I think is there any else question or we can drop off?
Smriti, I was just asking, would you be able to share this interview question link in the group? Like we'll just go through.
Yeah, sure. I will do that, and also I will whatever document we should discuss today, I will share that as well.
Thank
you. Okay.
See that common sheet, is it created? Common sheet where we're putting.
I don't know. Vinay took the charge of it.
Okay.
Vinay, hello, you there?
Yeah, we started working onto it, and like I will just post it in the group today, maybe today or tomorrow, like whatever I have. Okay, so like if anyone wants to add something on that, they can do it from there.
So Vinay, what are the important pointers we are discussing? I always say just add those pointers to all of you actually, so that you remember. So that's my point. But rest you can think of. Okay then, guys. I think we are good then.
Thank you, Smriti.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Smriti.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.